We said, what if we could create a company that actually went in and helped everyone, taught them what to do, what not to do? You guys have blown it out of the water here tonight, but in 9.5 years, we've now raised over 2,900 shows from Maine to Florida. We just launched Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, $9.7 million. We got here tonight. So if you have a good time tonight, tell everybody, help us spread the word. People and families just like Aedan, his beautiful family that need help. And we do sports teams and churches. We have clean comics and adult comics. Whatever it takes, we want to protect our brand and we want to protect your brand at the same time. So if you have fun tonight, tell everybody. If you don't have fun tonight, keep that in the auditorium right here at the high school. Could you? Right? As soon as you walk out that door, don't ever mention it again. Deal? All right. So listen, before we start the show, I want to have Aedan's mom, Dawn, come up to the stage if you can. Where is Dawn? Yes. Let her feel some love.
So I wanted to take a second and thank you all for coming and supporting my wonderful child, Aedan, who would absolutely hate to be the center of attention. Like, this is his pure nightmare. So the fact that he's in a hospital bed, he's actually pretty happy about that right now. So he couldn't come. However, we did get great news super recently. His transplant for bone marrow has officially taken. So. So if you could do me a huge favor, the next time you see Room in the Halls next fall, and you say something like, I saw your mom up on stage in that comedy show last spring. It was super cringe. I cannot believe she did that. Having a mom like that must be the worst. I would really, really appreciate it. So the doctors do think that he's going to be able to come home on as early as next Wednesday. So he's very excited. And then he gets to do one of his favorite things, which is time travel back into the past and go back to the COVID-19, March 2020 kind of restrictions for about a year. So it's possible he could be back next fall, could be like next Christmas, but we're hoping for fall. And now I want to thank all of the people who made this wonderful event happen. First, my mama, who went to a whole bunch of local businesses, got some pizza and some donations. And then wonderful sister-in-law, Julie Borgen, please join me on the stage, who found Father John. Hi, Julie. You're welcome. You should go back to that, never mind.
Get up there, Julie.
So these are for Julie. To thank her for everything. Now I'm also going to embarrass three people who don't want to be up on stage. So can I please have Miss Morrill? And Miss P. Please grab some flowers on your way. So we got you flowers, and we also got you bracelets, which are the official Aedan's Army bracelet. It says Aedan's Army in Morse code and little beads. So my sister-in-law found the program, brought it to the school took it, ran all over town with it. But I especially wanted to thank these three lovely ladies, and especially Miss Graham, who was willing to embarrass himself on Channel 4 with me. And if you have not seen that, please check it out. Absolutely phenomenal job. So I just want to thank you four, everybody here and all the thoughts and prayers. I've always said that, thoughts and prayers are kind of silly and, whatever, like it's easy to write on Facebook, but it really does mean a lot when you hear it from people that actually know you and know that like there really is like love behind those words. So I just wanted to thank you.
Happy to be here, we're happy to help. But for a good comedy show to be delivered, 3 simple things. Rule number 1, silence your cell phones. You can take pictures, you can film, do what you want, but just silence them. Right? The worst thing that could happen to you is your phone goes off during a comedian's set. Right? Especially if your ringtone is like Taylor Swift or something. Rule number 2, keep the talk to a minimum. Right? We got some great comics here tonight, we're gonna have a blast. If you really have to talk to the person next to you, because you can't control yourself, text them. Keep that between the two of you, nobody cares. Rule number 3. Was that a pterodactyl? What was that? Rule number 3, most important rule, is to laugh. LOL. Everybody's stressed. Everybody's just like that. Everyone's getting triggered, not here tonight. We are here for Aedan. You're going to see a great, fun comedy show. So on the count of 3, I want your best laugh. You ready? 1, 2, 3, laugh. All right? Sounds good to me. Are you guys ready for a comedy show? You guys ready for a funny show?
How are we doing tonight? Look at this awesome crowd. You guys are fantastic. So, like Bill said, my name is Amy Schwab. I started comedy about 2 years ago when I was 45. Thank you for being part of my midlife crisis journey. Therapy is expensive, and with comedy, you guys have to listen to all my problems, but I'm the one that gets paid. It's a pretty good trade-off, really. Did you guys see in the news last month, I don't know if you guys saw this, the oldest woman in the US turned 116 years old. Did you guys see this? 116. She didn't look a day over 100. It was impressive. When she was asked, what is your secret to living such a long life? She said, a small glass of red wine a day. So I went out and bought a big case of white. Need a second on that one, guys. I don't want to live another 70 years. Are you kidding me? That's another 17 presidential elections. I don't have it in me. You know what I mean? Yeah, craziness. So I drove here tonight all the way from West Warwick, Rhode Island, also known as Wicked Fa. It was a hike, guys, but you're worth it. Aedan is worth it, so here we are. So I drove by a house on the way here that has one of those lawn signs. I'm sure you've seen them. It says, drive like your kids live here. You seen these? So I pulled in the driveway, laid on the horn, and screamed, we're gonna be late! It's funny until their kids try getting in my car. Not so funny then. I don't want anyone else's kids. I have 2 of my own and I don't even like them. I'm just being honest. Like and love, not the same thing, right? I have a 21-year-old son who still lives at home. I don't have any jokes about that. There's nothing funny about a 21-year-old guy living in your house. It's not funny. He's got a full-time job and attitude. I'm trying to grow him up a little though, I said, but why don't you start making your own lunches for work? He said, I don't know why I have to make my own lunch for work. You used to make my lunch for me when I was little. I said, I used to like you when you were little. He is a good kid though, he's smart, went into the trades. This kid can take apart an engine and put it back together blindfolded. But in 21 years, he has been unable to locate the hammer in our house. It's pretty impressive. We also have an 18-year-old daughter that always gets quiet. She's actually the more tolerable one, if you can believe that. She's also a very smart kid, but she kind of has a broken vocabulary. She just misfires sometimes. She likes to help me with my comedy. She said to me the other day, "Mom, I think you should do more of that self-defecation on stage." I don't think I should. I don't think the audience would like that at all, actually. Oh man, we took her to Texas Roadhouse for her birthday. This girl gets burgers everywhere we go, but she said, "I'm gonna shake it up tonight." I said, "Yeah, what are you gonna try?" She said, "I'm gonna try these filet medallones." I said, "Baby girl, those are not words." She said, "Mom, it says it right here." I said, "Okay, you go ahead and tell the waitressy that you would like the filet medallones. I'll watch." And they're good kids, though. I do love them both dearly. But 18 and 21, they are pretty much never home anymore. They're gone all the time, which means my husband and I are home alone a lot. And there's that unspoken pressure to do that one activity you used to never have time for. Now you have nothing but time for, but you don't have the energy for the dishes. You guys know the activity I'm really talking about, right? Sitting on the couch, watching TV at night, and I feel them start looking at me. Ladies, you know the look. I'm like, "I'm just trying to watch TV." And he says it. "So, babe, you want some ice cream, or you want to head down the hallway?" I said, "Yeah, babe. Cone or cup?" I'm sorry, my late 40s got me tired. This part of my life looks nothing like I thought it would. I thought I'd be out to dinner, having cocktails with friends. Instead, my life consists of binging Netflix and plucking my chin and peeing. My husband knows rule number one: if I am ever in a coma, don't you dare visit me without tweezers. Do not want to wake up looking like a billy goat. Not feeling as pretty as I get older, starting to get a little wrinkly, a little saggy. Meanwhile, my husband's over here getting hotter as he ages. What's that, ladies, right? But the guys getting more distinguished, hotter as they age. He's aging like Kevin Costner, and I'm aging like a balloon 5 days after the party. It's not fair. Put on weight like I'm getting paid to do it. Don't let the skinny legs fool you. Under this shirt, I resemble a popkin of biscuits. Good look. So I started a new diet recently. I created it myself. The way it works: anytime I want to eat something naughty, like chips or a cookie, I go to the mirror and I flash myself. If I like what I see, I get to eat the cookie. I haven't had a cookie in 3 weeks. And I am no longer welcome at Panera. I don't like that at all. I had an ovary removed a few months ago, and thing, was misbehaving. Doctor said it had to come out. She explained the surgical procedure to me, and she said, "Do you have any questions?" I said, "Actually, I do. How much does an ovary weigh?" Huh? She said, "About 7 grams." I said, okay. I bet a kidney weighs more, and I don't need them both, right? One of those when you're there? She didn't find it as funny as I did. So my husband, he has his stuff too. He's not getting through his 40s unscathed. He actually runs marathons every night in his sleep. Anyone else in here with the restless leg syndrome? It's like sleeping with a cha-cha dancer. Only not as fun as it sounds. We have to buy a new fitted sheet like twice a year because he blows a hole through the sheet with his sandpaper beads. I'm pretty sure we're the only people on Amazon with sheets on auto ship. His his foot touched my leg in bed one night, he said, "Babe, why are you sleeping with knee-high socks?" I said, "I'm not, they're shin guards." We're a mess. We're a mess. As if 2020 wasn't bad enough with the whole world shutting down, that was the delightful year that my husband and I were both diagnosed with sleep apnea. Any sleep apnea friends in the house? Round of applause? Woo! Yay! We're suffocating in our sleep! Right? It's a lot of fun. Listen, you have not seen sexy till you see a husband and wife simultaneously strapping breathing apparatus to their face at bedtime. It is hot. But to make things just a little hotter, I discovered that my headgear was breaking my hair. So I had to buy a sleeping bonnet. Yeah. Talk about sexy. It's like a little do-rag. I have a red one and a blue one. So on any given night, my husband doesn't know if he's going to bed with the Bloods or the Crips. I look like a gang member on life support. Spontaneous middle-of-the-night romance? That's a thing of the past. Feeling a little frisky one night, pulled his mask off his face. Things sounded like a pop tire. I put that thing back on him so fast. Talk about a mood killer. Man. It's too much. We were at mattress shopping recently. That was fun. Sales lady talked us into a bed with an adjustable base. Because we figured we're not feeling geriatric enough. Let's add a nursing home bed to the bedroom to really spice things up. The only thing missing now is that emergency pull cord behind the bed. That goes in next week. Let's see if they can tie it in Grubhub. Right? It's a great idea. 1 pull for tacos, 2 pulls for pizza, 3 pulls the nursing home down the street brings us a little dish of red pudding. It's gonna be fantastic. Can't wait. Oh, I'm telling you, nothing looks like it used to. When we were newly married, I'd slather on all these sexy smelling lotions at bedtime. The bedroom smelled amazing. Now it smells like a mixture of Lubriderm and Biofreeze. And don't even get me started on Taco Tuesday. Mask goes on pretty quick on those nights. Newly married, I'd wear these cute little nighties to bed, all pretty little lingerie. Now, my nighttime attire looks like I went pajama shopping blindfolded at Goodwill. Nothing pretty about that. But you know, 25 years of marriage, I don't really have to try anymore, right? My husband, he's a good guy. He very thoughtful, but I do have to be careful what I say around him. Very thoughtful, always listening for gift ideas, but he tends to go a little overboard. Last year, I just said something in passing. I said, I don't like sleeping under flimsy blankets. I like feeling a little substance on me when I sleep. What did I open Christmas morning? A 25-pound weighted blanket. I didn't know they made them that high. 25 pounds, guys. Apparently my husband thought that I might enjoy sleeping under a concrete comforter. I did not. Every time I tried to roll over that night, I had to heave this thing off of me just to roll to one side. In one fell swoop, I went from a wife to a hostage. I felt like a boob in a mammogram machine. I contacted Amazon first thing the next day. I said, this thing is awful, it's gotta go back. Amazon said, you have an idea what that's gonna cost to ship back? You can keep it. So I kept it. And now I use it when I babysit my niece's 4-year-old. Lay the kid in the middle of the floor, put the blanket on him, he doesn't move all day. Guys, that is my time. You ready to keep this show rolling?
Hello, what's going on, everybody? She's kind of tall, right? No, I'm just short. I know I'm short because people, when I walk through the hallway, they're like, where's your parents? I'm leaving. This is great, man. Let's hit it one more time for Aedan. Let's hear it. Yeah, this is great. guys sit together and be together, right? Remember we couldn't do this for 2 years? We couldn't sit this close to each other. We couldn't be breathing on each other, right? Anybody caught that thing, the COVID? Anybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught the old COVID. Remember the old COVID? I caught it the old COVID because as soon as I got over that COVID, then the new COVID came out. And I was like, oh, this is what people with iPhones feel like. Another one? How many COVIDs are they gonna make? Like I'm waiting for the COVID titanium or something. I don't know. But I never got COVID really bad. Like I got over it in 2 weeks, I was okay. But I ran into a buddy of mine who I've known for like 25 years. He says, Philip, I almost died from my COVID, Philip. He said, I was in the hospital for 18 days, Philip. I lost 20 pounds, Philip. Then he said he was putting needles in his stomach every day. Then he showed me a picture of him in the hospital. And as his friend, it broke my heart. But as a comedian, I'm like, which COVID did you get? Because I didn't lose any weight on my COVID. 18 days, 20 pounds, that's amazing. People out here trying to get me to do Herbalife. I'm like, forget Herbalife. I'm doing bacterial life, that works. So if anybody sneezes or coughs tonight, I will lick your cup or your bottle or whatever. Because I'm looking for the lose weight COVID. Right? Because we all want to lose weight, we just don't want to do lose weight stuff. Like I tried, I went to the gym with my buddy, he's buff. He was like, come on, Philip, I'll get you in shape. I'm like, all right. And he's one of these guys, you see him at the gym. He's like this, he's and I'm just standing there confused looking at him like, if it's that heavy, leave it there. There's little ones over here. Let me show you what the little ones are. I'm not doing that, it's too much. So I said, all right, I tried once again. But this time I went to the gym with my wife and her friends, because they don't lift stuff. Right? But they took me to another room with a bunch of bicycles. You guys see this place? They call it spin class. As soon as I got in there, I sat down. As soon as I sat down, my butt told me, this is not for us. I was like, I hear you, buddy. And I just sat there. And here comes the instructor, excuse me, sir, you're supposed to pedal. I said, no, I'm going downhill. Coasted. She didn't like that joke as much as you guys did. But then she tried to embarrass me in front of the whole class. She said, you see that lady next to you? So I looked at the lady, I said, yeah. She said, she's been pedaling for an hour straight. So I looked at the lady and looked back at the instructor. I said, well, she hasn't passed me yet. He said, you can't come to the gym anymore. No, not until you know how to behave yourself, sir. So I just do stuff that makes me feel accomplished, even though I'm overweight. Like I recently bought a digital scale because it got the decimal point. Counts the ounces. So if I get up in the morning and I step on that scale and I'm not happy with the number that I see, I go take my morning poop. And I come back and that number's different. Yes, almost 8 ounces. I almost had a baby. Just what I do. Anybody else waiting? All right. Oh, we got some poop waiters over there, yes. That is the cleanest way to wear your poop. Any other way, not a good idea. And as an overweight guy, I got different triggers than most people. My biggest trigger right now, I don't know, this is Millis, Mass. I don't know this area. I'm from the Bronx, it's different. My biggest trigger right now is those people at the red lights with the signs asking for money. You got those out here?
We have one.
No, I didn't think so. I didn't see one all the way in here. But when I see them all the time, and now I was raised in the Bronx, New York, and my mom was very street smart. She told me, you don't give those people money because you know what they're gonna do with it. But she also raised me with good morals, and she taught me to never deny anybody food. So I quickly spend money on a meal for a complete stranger before I give them a penny. But sometimes I just be too hungry. Right? Like the other day, I was so hungry, I just went through the drive-thru because it's the quickest thing. And as soon as I leave the drive-thru, I get to the red light, and I'm the first car. And he's right there. And I don't want to look at him. But I kind of want to know what the sign says. Sometimes they're good. But I'm like, no eye contact, no eye contact. Then I remember what Mom taught me. So I looked at my chicken nugget. And I looked at the other 19 nuggets in the box. And I knew what I had to do. I quickly lowered my nugget to make sure he didn't see it. And then I just ate the red light. That's it, because you don't get nuggets at the red light. If you want nuggets, meet me at the drive-thru. I'll get you your own 20-piece. At the red light, no nuggets. It's like real estate. Location, location, location. They never ask for the stuff they want. Where the stuff they want is. The other day I was at Dunkin' Donuts to get my wife a cup of coffee. Here's the guy in front. Hey, yo, man, can you spare some change? I just want to get something to eat. I said, come inside, order whatever you want. He's like, I don't like Dunkin' Donuts. So why are you in front of Dunkin' Donuts? So I go inside, I get the coffee, I come out, he's like, my man, can you spare anything? I'm like, I got it. I'm sorry, dude, I don't carry cash. You got cash out? You got cash out? I'm like, they're different now. They're different now. How you got cash out? You don't got a dollar. Anyway, that's just my personal stuff. So, I just recently celebrated my 51st birthday. I'm 51 years old now. Yeah, thank you. I mean, the kids are like, oh, he's old. Screw you guys. No. It's all right. I get sensitive. No, but I took 51 way better than 50. Like 50, you guys are gonna hit the big 50. They make me think it's a milestone. It's exciting. Then when I got there, and it wasn't. What turning 50 meant to me is that now I gotta get up 3 times a night to pee. Like, what happened? Like, I needed a nap before this show tonight, but my bladder wants to party all night. And anybody who gets up in the middle of the night to pee, you know, rule number 1, you don't want to lose your sleeping. That's why I call it my sleeping, right? So you can't open your eyes. You can't turn on the lights. So now it turns into these missions. Mission number 1 is navigating through your home in complete darkness to the bathroom. Mission number 2, don't stub your toe because that'll ruin mission number 1. Then there's mission number 3. This is the most difficult mission of all, especially for the men in the room. So when you get there, don't miss. Let's face it, gentlemen, we can't even aim with our eyes open and the lights on. But the other night, something happened. Mission number 1, I'm like, good to go. Mission number 2, all toes intact. Then I get to mission number 3, I'm so nervous, I'm like, don't miss again, because my wife doesn't like it. But I got this trick, gentlemen, and if you do this, you'll never miss again. And you don't even have to open your eyes. You just take your hand and you feel around. And then you sit down. You sit down, that's right. Don't judge me, I sat down. Don't thank you. That's right. And the first thing that went through my mind was, ladies, you've been doing it right all these years. Why don't we listen? I sat down, I was like, this is nice. And it's more comfortable. It was so comfortable, I fell asleep. I fell asleep so long, I was late for work. No, I woke up on time because I could hear the alarm clock in the other room. But what I didn't know is that if you sit too long, your legs fall asleep too. I jumped up and fell right on the bathroom floor. My wife came in, she's like, what's wrong with you? I was like, could you hit the snooze button? I think my legs need 9 more minutes. Yeah, 51 years old, Puerto Rican from the Bronx, and I have no children. That's crazy. Crazy. My wife, I'll tell you this, the other day, I had a show in New Hampshire. I took my wife with me, we were in the mall. And I just remember this moment, it was deep for me, where we sat down in the food court, and this gentleman came with his 5-year-old son. He had to be 5, and he's sitting next to us in there, and he had one order of Chinese food, and they're sharing it. And it was like a beautiful moment. And then that's when it dawned on me, I'm never gonna have that moment. And I was so happy because I don't like sharing my food. I was like, yes, I won. The parents, you're mean. Yeah, all right. I like sleep too, people. I like sleep as well. The parents, the kids, like, what are you talking about? Yeah, so 51 from the Bronx, no kids, but my wife lets me claim her kids. Not on my taxes. She just says to say my son and my daughter. So our daughter is a 25-year-old medical assistant. And she comes to me one day, she goes, Philip, I got something that'll help you sleep all through the night. And I was like, oh my God, what is it? I don't remember the last time I slept a full night. She gave me a piece of candy, people. Some of you know. I didn't know. I ate it, I was like, it's delicious, let me get another one. She said, no, you can't eat 2 of these candies. And I'm like, why not? And she said, it's an edible. I said, I know it's edible, I just ate it, it was delicious. And she explained to me what it was, and I was like, why would you give me that? I don't do that. I don't even drink alcohol. I'm telling your mother, I was so scared. But ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, it worked. For the first time, and I don't know how long, I slept the whole night through. I didn't even get up one time to pee. I just peed right in the bed. Ladies, if you think sitting and peeing is comfortable, try it laying down. I was like, this is nice. No misses, nothing. And it gets warm. It gets but I got a ceiling fan, so then it got a little bit cold and I had to go downstairs. My wife's like, no more for you. I'm like, that's fine. Oh man. So like she said, I'm originally from the Bronx, New York. And when I'm not doing comedy, I get booked to host these motivational seminars, which I love, right? It's really cool. I get to bring up these great speakers and all this stuff. And so I have jokes that I tailor to be positive. And one of the things I teach is something that's called laugh. Just a reminder to laugh. And it's based on certain things. Like number one, none of us promise tomorrow, so we gotta laugh as much as we can today, right? Number two is that we all go through difficult things in life, right? And no matter how tough it is for everyone in this room and how different it is, we always, it has 2 things in common. Number one, we're here tonight, so we survived that thing, whatever it was. And number 2 is that whether it takes a day, a week, a month, a year, or even longer, we eventually laugh, find a way to laugh at those moments that tried to beat us but couldn't. So I just share that to share one of my laugh moments, right? Where I have to find humor in the toughest time. Do me a favor, clap your hands if you're a dog lover. So in 2023, I had to put my mother's dog down. And it was the hardest thing I ever did. This dog licked my nose until he went to sleep, and I was crying like a baby. That's not the word I want to use. We're gonna say baby. I was like, I was blubbering. I was crying so much, my wife had to drive us home. I couldn't physically drive. Right? And I knew I was crying like a baby because my wife, we drive her home and I could see the love in her eyes. And she looked over to me and she's like, you're such a little baby. And I'm like, shut up, stupid, shut up, right? But now let's rewind, April 17, 2020. We just got locked down by COVID. I lost my dad to COVID, April 17, 2020. And I cried, but not like a baby. like I cried more for the dog than I did for my dad. And it wasn't even my dog. I have 3 dogs. I don't know what I'm gonna do if something happens to one of my dogs. I'm gonna lose my mind. I don't know. So I'm like, where's the laugh from me here? So I had to play it out of my head, all right? And here's what it looks like, all right? Dad died. I'm like, no, man. No, why dad? Why? Why dad? Why? But the dog died. Why couldn't it be dad? I know, that's wrong. That's wrong. But it just lends to the fact that we love our animals differently. And our animals love us unconditionally. And that the kids might not get this one, but the older people like me know. The great George Carlin said it. If you want to know who loves you more, your dog or your wife, you lock them both in the trunk of your car for 1 hour. When you come back and open that trunk, you tell me which one is happy to see you. It's always going to be the dog. Now don't go trying that. I don't want to go home and watch the news like 24 women locked in trunks with dogs. In Millis, Massachusetts. I'll never come back. Like, nope. Oh man, so yeah, from the Bronx, New York. I lived in the Bronx all my life. And when I was about just almost 40 years old, my ex-girlfriend tells me, Philip, I want to get out of New York. I was like, all right, where do you want to go? Orlando, Florida, with the rest of the Puerto Ricans? She said, no, I want to move to Massachusetts. I was like, why? But I did some research and I found some really nice cities in Massachusetts, like Millis, Massachusetts. But she chose a city, you guys might have heard of it. It's called Springfield, Massachusetts. You guys caught the part where I said my ex, right? That's why. But when I got to Springfield, I thought I was okay, because if you heard anything about Springfield, a lot of Puerto Ricans. I was like, I'm home. Then I took a walk in this area they call the South End of Springfield. And that's where I learned that I am not as Puerto Rican as I thought. The first red flag, I got jumped by a few Puerto Rican guys. If you laughed at that, that's me. That wasn't the funny part. The funny part was the police report said it was a racially motivated attack. And I tried to correct the officer. I was like, officer, I think you're mistaken. I'm Puerto Rican too. He said, first of all, Puerto Ricans don't say I think you're mistaken. Philip. So second of all, this is the South End of Springfield. You're not Puerto Rican around here. That's when he called me something I never heard before. He said, around here we call you sort of Rican. Apparently, I didn't meet the stereotypes of the South End Puerto Ricans. Like, what did he say I had? Oh, a job. I wasn't driving a Honda Civic at the time of the attack. And I was outside in broad daylight in the South End of Springfield. But I wasn't wearing pajamas, weird stuff. Like I was asking for it, I guess. Like, one of them was kicked. Like, then I figured it out. I was like, I knew what it was. As they found out, I was almost 40 years old. I'm a straight man, but I have no children. That's so not Puerto Rican. One of them was kicking me. He was like, you should have pregnant grandkids already. I was like, you're right. Stop kicking me. And I was gonna press charges. I was angry, but I got smart. I said, I'll make a deal with you guys. I won't press charges if you let me claim 3 of those kids in February. That was a good year for me. And my mom was always like that. When are you gonna give me a grandson? You're the only one of my kids who hasn't given me a grandson, a grandchild yet. Stop being the weird uncle. You know that stuff, right? And she gave that one up, but then she was like the other one. She was like, why don't you at least meet a nice girl so you could get married and be happy? And I'm like, Ma, you want me to get married or be happy? I tell that joke, but I just celebrated my 6th wedding anniversary, so I'm very happily married. And I met her in Springfield. Go figure, that's crazy. Yeah, it was funny. I'm surprised the guy clapped. Usually the women clap when the guys give me a look. And I'm gonna tell you what that look is, right? The look is that if you do the math, that means I got married at 45 years old. And I didn't have any kids. They're like, you won. What are you doing? That's like never committing a crime and just walking into prison. Like, can I spend the rest of my life in here, please, right? It was like that when we got engaged. When we got engaged, her friends were so excited. They were like, did you hear Maria's getting married? They were like, oh my God. They wanted to see the ring, right? To make sure I wasn't broke. They wanted to know where the wedding was going to be, to see if I was romantic. They want to know if she said yes to the dress, right? That's what the women want to know. The guys, my friends, you think you told them I died? It's like, you heard Phil's getting married, right? No, you're lying. There's no way. I just saw him last week. He looked regular. He was talking and everything. It's true what they say. You never know what your friends are going through. Call your friends. Where my married couples at? Clap it up if you're married. Come on. Yeah. And any newlyweds? Any newlyweds? Like 5 years? Like that? Any? No? No? Huh? Where's your husband, man?
Right behind me.
Oh, right behind. Okay, that's okay. And who's just next to you?
My other husband.
Oh, sir, I'm sorry. Thank you. I asked that because you learn a lot about yourself when you get married. Right? I learned a few things about me when I get married. One of the first things I learned is that I am an idiot. Not because I was getting married. That was the smart part. My wife is amazing. But she was doing all the wedding planning. She was doing everything. I'm like, babe, let me help you. And she said, no, because you're going to screw it up. I'm like, give me something easy. She said, okay. She gave me a list of names and addresses. She said, send all the save the date cards to everyone on this list. I said, I got you, my love. And I did it. But we started getting some weird responses. First one came back and said, I'm not coming to that. Okay, whatever. The next one came back and said, you should keep that to yourself. The last one came back and they just said, that's nasty. I'm like, who are these people? Why are they talking about our wedding like this? That's when I realized it was not a good idea to abbreviate save the date. Nobody wanted to come to an STD party. You should keep that to yourself. That's nasty. So she's right, I screwed it up. The other thing I learned about me is that I am broke. I didn't know weddings cost this much money. I had to do something that Puerto Ricans don't do. I put together a budget plan. We don't, right? We just buy stuff. And it was my first budget plan, but I knew I did it wrong. Because I looked at it and I said, all right, this is what I'm going to spend next month. I actually included overdraft fees. That's not supposed to be there. So I was like, all right, now I gotta be really strict with my money. No more spending money on stupid things that I don't need. So the first thing I did was quit the gym. That's messed up. I needed those $10. Okay? It wasn't easy. Anybody try to quit the gym? They want crazy stuff. They want a doctor's note. They want 30 days notice. I'm like, nah, I'm Puerto Rican. We don't do that. We don't go to the gym and cancel our membership. We just change banks. I'm not going to your gym. You don't even know what money is. Problem solved, right? The next thing I gave up, if you're 50 and over, you can clap your hands real quick. I won't even look. 50 and over, where you at? You know this one. This one hurt. These kids don't understand this one. I had to stop spending money going to the movies to watch a new movie. You guys remember when that was the cheap date. It was like $5 to get in. Now what do they want? $15, $20 a ticket. And even if you catch a matinee or something, they get you at the concession stand. And says, I'm Puerto Rican. I don't go to Dollar Tree and steal candy and sneak it in. The last time I went to the movie, I spent $42 on popcorn. Thank you, sir. The one person that liked. Everybody else, I don't like you. No, sir, because that means they're judging me. Not like you. You laugh. They're judging me. They're looking at me going, where's that? You like popcorn? $42 sounds about right. No. There was only one popcorn for $7 with a $35 overdraft fee. That's how you start. You see? You got to teach these people. Don't judge people like that. Don't do that. That's not right. I taught my friend this lesson. We were at another mall. We were at the food court. And he's like, I'm hungry. I'm going to get some pizza. I was like, you know what? I could eat too, of course. He said, what do you get? I was going to get some Chinese food. He said, don't eat that. I'm like, why not? He He said, they're cooking food. They're cooking dogs and eating dogs over there. And I'm like, don't do that. Don't judge those people like that. First of all, if they were really cooking dog over there, they're really cooking dog over there. It's delicious. This makes me a dog lover 2 ways now. just don't judge people. That's all I'm saying. So I don't go to the movies no more. I do Netflix. Who does Netflix? Woo! Yeah. I use my mother's password. It's $20 now. It's crazy. But there's rules. You gotta be careful if you use your mother's password, because Netflix will tell on you. My mother sat down with her husband and she put on Netflix and it said, watch it again. And she knew she didn't watch that. She calls me angry. She's like, Philip, I gotta talk to you. I'm like, what happened? She's like, it's about the Netflix. I was like, what happened? She lost it. She said, I'm getting a divorce. This pervert is using my Netflix to watch some movie called Nymphomania. I was like, I had to stop her right away. I was like, Mom, hold on. I got a confession to make. She's like, what? I said, I knew he was a pervert from the day you met him. You come live with me. I love you. And she did, and she won't leave. I didn't think it all. Your lessons for the young people in the room. Oh man. I miss my mom. She moved to Puerto Rico recently, so it's good to, she's doing good over there. You guys, where's your moms at? Where's your moms at?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico? We got Puerto Ricans in here? We got Puerto Ricans in business? Yes. Just the one, right? Just the one. When you move out, I'm moving in. Because I'm not going to tell my friends. Don't worry. Kids, you're going to learn some stuff, man. You're going to learn some stuff. How long you guys been married, sir?
21 years.
21 years. You passed. She was like, let me see if he gets it right.
There's more I didn't know, and I was just checking with him.
Oh, okay. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. See, I've only been married 6 years. We're going to be 7 years at the end of this year. And I've been with my wife going to be 9 years, right? And this is a weird thing that people think is weird. Sir, what's your name? Kevin. And your wife? Yvonne. Kevin, have you ever farted in front of Yvonne? No? Never. Thank you, Kevin. I think me and you have the same problem. I've been with my wife almost 9 years. I never farted in front of her. You guys thought I was fat. This is gas. Kevin, you feel me, sir? If I let it go right now, we're in the parking lot. Or we're in the parking lot. I don't know. Right? But I have reasons, Kevin. I think you have the same reasons. It's because I feel like if I fart in front of my wife, she might think it's okay to fart in front of me. No, it's not. No. I don't want to play those games they do. You white people play those games. That Dutch oven game. Oh my God. Puerto Ricans, you know what the Dutch oven is? No. You trap me under that blanket, I'm pressing charges. That's the situation. No. I love my wife to death. I tell my wife all the time, your happiness is my happiness. Right? I'm not happy unless she's happy. If she told me today that things aren't working out, I would do whatever I could in my power to make my wife happy again and make our marriage work. That's my job. I love her husband. But if she fought her in front of me, I'm like, babe, this is not working out. And you can keep the house because that's where you fought it. I don't want it. But I have other reasons. My wife is beautiful. You guys got a pretty good look at me by now. Not so much. So I married up. What that tells you about my wife is that she's one of those people that's really, really what's on the inside that counts. And I can't let her know what's in here. I just can't. And I know what it's like, because one day I was at an ATM by myself. And as I was completing my transaction, I noticed some people walking toward the ATM. I'm a comedian who hasn't farted in 9 years. I felt like I needed to leave them a little gift. So I let one go, and I ran to the car, and I pulled out my phone. And I was ready to record it. This is gonna be my YouTube video that gets 1 million hits. I had the name, Fart at the ATM. And just as I was gonna record, I realized the fart followed me into the car. I got something myself. I opened the door and fell on the floor. People were like, what's wrong with this guy? I'm like, I can't let us know that. Before I go, I'll tell you this story. So, I don't know how much time I got. I've been up here for a while. I forgot to set my watch, Bill, sorry. So I told that story at a show my wife was in, and we're driving home, and I'm driving, and she's like, you know, you did fart in front of me. And I was like, no, I didn't. Never. And she's like, yeah, you did. So we have this disagreement. Maybe you guys can help me, okay? Clap only if you agree with me, okay? I believe it didn't count because I was asleep. Thank you, yes! You fall in your sleep, you fall in your sleep, you fall in your sleep, yes! If I'm asleep, that's the dog. Get off the bed. And I got 3 dogs, so I get 3 farts a night. That's just the rule, right? I was so tired, so tired. And I said, she's right here. And I fell asleep, and it just came out. And I opened this eye. I was like, oh my God. Please tell me she didn't hear that. It was loud. I know now, I almost answered the door. Like, it woke me up. But then I was like, oh, God, if you let her be so asleep that she didn't hear that, I woke up. And he didn't even let me finish because he knew I was lying. She starts to move, she's like, babe, I'm like, no. And I didn't know what to do. I thought as quick as I could. I just closed my left eye again. I was like, and it worked. You know how it worked? Because 2 seconds later, she was like, your breath smells like poop. I'll take it. Before I get out of here, so your prior service?
Yes.
Thank you for your service. Anybody else here a veteran? Anybody? Thank you for your service. Yeah, I'm a veteran myself. Yeah. So I'm gonna end this with a story from basic training, if you allow. What branch?
Army.
Army. Oh, I was Army. So you know, in basic training, well, in any branch, right? But when you're in basic training, there's 2 types of drill sergeants you don't want to mess with. The female drill sergeants, they are bad, right? And midget drill sergeants. Right? So I'm in basic training, and we had a drill sergeant. Her name was Drill Sergeant Honey, real name. It was 1992, so you know how many times I got in trouble for not honey, right? So one day we're in formation. Formation, for you guys don't know, we're all at attention. You're locked up. You don't talk. You don't move. Nothing. The guy next to me is chewing something in formation, and Drill Sergeant Honey lost it.
Hey, hero! Are you chewing gum in my formation?
He's like, Sergeant, no, Sergeant. She's like, you pull whatever you have in your mouth out right now. And he pulled out a crinkled up straw from the Burger King on base. And when he pulled it out, it flicked on his cheek, and a little bit of spit landed right here. And I'm like, then she asked him a question that scared me. She said,
Who's your battle buddy?
Screwed.
that's your friend. I was like, I'm not your friend. Don't say. He said, Private Anthony. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you. I'm like, oh my God. She said, give Private Anthony your straw. He put the wet straw in my hand. Then she said, Private Anthony, put that straw in your mouth.
Sergeant, no, Sergeant.
She was like, Private Anthony, front and center. So I had to break ranks. make my way all the way to the front, her, all the other drill sergeants behind her, me and my new straw. She said, Private Anthony, do you want an Article 15? And that's a punishment. They take money out of your pay. They don't let you go off base on the weekend and have fun with your friends, right? And at that point, I'm like, I don't know. But I was like, no, Sergeant. She said, are you going to put the straw in your mouth? I'm like, Sergeant, I can't, Sergeant. And she said, why not? And I thought quick. I said, it's against my beliefs. She said, what beliefs are those? And I didn't miss the beat. I was like, I believe that's nasty. She turned around, everybody turned around. They didn't want us to see her laugh. She said, go back and move his straw. I was like, and that's when I knew at 18 years old that comedy was something I needed to do. Because it saved my life in the military that day. All right, before I get out of here, I just leave you guys with a message. I leave this message everywhere I go. Hopefully you can use it, live by it, share it, and I think it's even more important tonight than ever. They say laughter is the best medicine. I believe it's more than that, right? Because there's one thing in this world that kills everybody. It's called stress. Stress will make your mind weak, your body weak, even your immune system weak. All right? But I know for a fact that stress can't live in the presence of laughter. And we're going to make sure there's no stress in this room tonight. Am I right?
Yeah.
So my message to you all is this. Laughter is life. So whatever you all do and Aedan does, please keep laughing. My name is Philip Anthony. Thank you so much.
Amy Schwab, everybody. Let's go. All right. The headliner comes out when people are leaving. This is unbelievable. Have a good night, everybody. Drive safe. Give it up for Philip Anthony, everybody. Philip. Yes. Give it up for Philip Anthony, everybody. Apparently I'm not your wife. You have no problem letting it out up here, do you? Woo! It's like funny for thoughts up here now. This is unbelievable. It's so exciting to be here. I was talking with Julie. Where's Julie? Give it up for Julie. And she said, Bill. She called me late at night, and I picked up the phone. I'm like, hello? And she's like, Billy. Because that's how she talked. She was like, Billy. She said, I need you to headline a show for me, Bill. Can you do it? I said, who's this? She's like, it's Julie. I want you to headline a show for me. I said, I can do it for you, Julie, but I need a couple things. I said, if you can do these things for me, I'm all yours, Julie. Are you listening? Julie said, I'm here. I said, Julie, the night of the event, I'm going to be coming home from doing 8 shows over 6 nights in the largest casino in Reno, Nevada. But for your show, I'd like to be in a high school auditorium, in a town I've never heard of. I said, I need something else too, Lori. Are you listening? I mean, Julie, and I said, are you listening? And she said, I'm still here, Bill. I said, the night of the event, if you could have children, but not like high school kids. I'm thinking like 4, 5, 6 years old in the crowd. I think that'd be great. And if you could start the show and have me on after 9 o'clock, I think that'd be a great combination to watch as I do my act as kids fall asleep in the seat. I said, and then there's one last thing, Julie. I'm not picking on you, brother. Don't hurt me. There's one more thing I need, Julie. If you could do this for me, I'm all yours. And she said, what is it? I said, the night of the event, if you could have gamma rays shining down deep into my retinas, I just want to drive home and see floaters all over the place. No, keep clapping. I can't see you, but I can hear you. Keep clapping. I want to get pulled over and have the officer say, do you know how fast you were going? I'm saying, I have no idea. I can't see nothing. I can't see nothing. What do you think? Over 60? And so also, I want to, if I could just sweat under these lights. If you can make it a balmy 88 degrees in the auditorium, I think that'd be great, Julie. Everything I asked for, you gave to me, Julie. Thank you. This is amazing, Julie. And I am a little stressed. I drove all the way from Rhode Island to be here. And I didn't expect it in Millis, but I had to come through a few rotaries to get here. I think this is a good time to have a conversation. A stop sign and a yield sign are two different things. I'm looking around the room. I can tell it's been a while since driver's ed for most of you. So let's have a conversation, shall we? A stop sign means this. You get to the side of the road, you stop, you look. Maybe you got nothing to do today, just hanging out, you look again, and then you go. Stop sign. A yield sign at every rotary on the planet means this. When you get to the circle, if there's nobody around, keep going. Keep going. I know they're both red and white, so they mess you up, but do you ever come to a rotary? There's nobody around, and the person in front of you stops, and you lose your mind. And you're beeping the horn, you're like, wah, let's go, let's go. Everyone's license plate should be a number you can dial. As soon as they stop at that yield with nobody around, they're like, look at this, they're like, boop, 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 boop. And they pick up all happy, like, hello, you're like, it's me, behind you, let's go. And there's a rhythm to rotaries, there really is. And a lot of young kids in here, wait till you start driving, they're gonna be like, that's what that old man was talking about. It's stressful, but there's a rhythm to rotaries. I figured out the rhythm. Here's what you need. The other day, I came up to this busy rotary, right? It was cars everywhere, beautiful day outside, and there was a woman in front of me, and we were just chilling at that yield sign, right? We were just double dutching, right? Just waiting for our little Mario Kart experience. Woo-woo-woo-woo! Right? And here's what you need. You need a car to come around the circle, but not come in front of you. They got to take an outlet. And when they take an outlet, that delays the oncoming traffic into the circle, and then a gap forms. And all the person in front of you has to do is hit the gap and go. Just hit the gap. And go. Just hit the gap. And I was behind this woman, and I was like, oh my God, it's happening. This is our moment. Car came around, didn't come in front of us, took that outlet. The gap had now formed. I looked up with complete euphoria, expecting this woman to move, and the gap came, and the gap went, and I lost my mind. I was trying to teleport myself into her car to help her hit the gas. And I got out of my car. I wasn't mean about it. I went up to her window, I knocked on the window, and when she rolled that window down, I stabbed her right in the face. That's what I did. Yeah, did you ever do that? There's already enough traffic. We need to thin the herd. If you cannot cognitively see a gap and hit the gap, I have to eliminate you. It's too stressful. I got other stuff I'm going to talk about, but this happened. I'll never forget this. June 1st, 2023. It was a beautiful day outside. Summer was coming. How do you know? You could smell it. And I was in my house, and I heard people driving by, music was playing. I was like, I'd like to partake in that. So I hopped in my truck, bebopped around town. We got a big rotary near our house that I forgot. As I was driving around, I'm like, crap, I'm heading right towards the rotary. I got to the rotary. Cars were everywhere. This woman pulls up next to me at the yield sign. 2 lanes getting into this rotary. And I'm waiting, cars are everywhere. I'm waiting to hit my gap. And this woman pulls up next to me. Her window was down. And I looked over, and my right hand to God, she had to be the most beautiful geriatric woman I had ever seen in my life. She was killing it for 90, killing it for 90. Her name had to be Agatha. Had to be Agatha, right? I looked at Agatha. Agatha looked back at me. As we looked back into the busy rotary, there was a car that was already in the circle. They already made it, and they came in front of me and Agatha, and they were so nice that they stopped in the circle and waved on me and Agatha at the yield sign. Exactly. I was like, oh! And I went to dial her license plate, and then I heard some ruckus coming from Agatha's car. Apparently, Agatha hates these people too. Because I looked over and she shot up her arm and she yelled, well, you know what she yelled, let's go! And I was like, what? And she meant it. It's so vivid in my mind. When she shot her arm forward, it was just 90 years of sunspots and skin tags, right? And when she held her arm there with all that force and held it there, her tricep was just dangling and she held it there. And for a minute, I thought she was talking to me. I'm like, Agatha, why are you yelling at me? It's us. But I didn't realize that the tip of her finger from the rheumatoid arthritis, it made a hard left. It made a hard left. So when she yelled, let's go, those words came out and shot left right at me. And I'm like, Agatha, why are you yelling at me? I was like, oh, I didn't see the rheumatoid. And then it hit me that she probably just left church. I mean, what else do you do at 90 besides prepare? That's a good joke. Don't you get triggered on me. Don't you get triggered on me. That's a good joke. She probably just read a book to her great-grandkids. I don't know, something called the Bible, right? And it took a rotary 0.2 seconds to snap her into Satan, right? She probably lifted up Jesus in that moment, put him in the passenger seat, buckled him, and said, Jesus, I'll take the wheel. And I drove through all that to be here for Aedan tonight, baby. That's what we're doing. And I gotta tell you, man, I'm looking at the young faces in the crowd. Unbelievable, right? Like, how old are you, brother?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm 15.
15? I got skin tags at 15 years old. That's unbelievable. 15. Congratulations on your youth and your tight flesh and calcium. That's unbelievable. Yes, I remember 15. I had one chin, I had abs, I had hope. Good job, brother. Stay there. Stay at that age. But I gotta tell you, the younger generation, I'm trying to understand. Like, I just feel like the younger generation is weaker. And if you don't like that I said that, meet me in the parking lot. I mean, I'm not gonna be there, but you can show up. And you can get triggered and vlog and podcast and do whatever you gotta do to get your word out, right? I'll give you an example. They don't know how to communicate. I've never seen it. I've never seen so many people just stuck in their phones. I was driving through Lowe's parking lot the other day, and I was, you know how they say don't drink and drive? You shouldn't walk and text. One kid almost came right into the hood of my car. And guess who would have been at fault? Me. Lift your head up at the dinner table in their phones. They forgot how to communicate. Example, I asked my son, Colton, 14 years old, just tonight driving here. He has a big hockey game tomorrow. I said, Colton, do you want me to pick you up and take you to the game or just meet you there? His response back in text, sure. Sure. He goes to a private high school. I want my money back. I want my money back. And listen, I know how my grandpa raised my dad through story. I know how my dad raised me through bruises. Listen, don't laugh, people who kept me in line to chase my dreams. Look at me now, sweating in Millis Auditorium. This is unbelievable. Chase your dreams, people. You too experience this complete euphoria bubbling up inside my abdomen. But the kids today, I'll give you an example. I got married, and she has, my wife Bethany has another hockey player in the house, but she's 10 years old. And Autumn does this one thing that there's nothing you can do as a parent in the new age. You just got to sit there and take it. And I came from the 80s, other people came from other decades, and it's really mind-boggling. For example, Autumn does this one thing at 10 years old. This is her response and her answer to every question, no matter what I ask. This is all she ever answers. I say, Autumn, do you want to go to Burger King now, or you want to go a little later? And this is her response, every question, no matter what I ask. Ready? 10 years old. I'm like, what the hell is this? Are you having a seizure? Do you need medical attention? And she's like, Dad, I'm flossing. I'm flossing. If that was little Billy and that fat guy flossing, is that funny, kid? Don't look at your parents are here, buddy. Teach you how we did high school in the 80s. Point me to the lockers. 3,000 shows I've done, I've never attacked a young child at a show. Thank you, Julie, thank you. That is not on the list. And they're filming, so this is my last show, everybody. Thank you very much. Funny for Fun has now been canceled. What a way to go out. All right. Holy shnikes. Okay. Where was I before I harassed this 6-year-old? Flossing, right? That's all she does. And I'm thinking to myself, if that was little Billy in the 80s, and my dad said, hey boy, Mom's coming to get you. You want her to come now or after dinner? And I was like, hey Dad. My father would have leaned all the way down and built up momentum and just uncoiled ankles, knees, hips. Boom! But you can't hit your kids anymore. There's too many cell phones. It's actually bled its way into sports. I went to my son's Little League baseball game. Or as I like to call it, somebody throw a strike. It's Thursday. I've been here since Monday. It's still the first inning. The score is 35-22. Lord Jesus, make it end. I'd like to go home and watch Matlock. You can look that up, young sir. And listen, Autumn does it. Colton did it when Colton was 11. We get herded in like cattle to this sports complex for a round robin. If you don't know what a round robin is, I mean, they're all over the place. It's when they play baseball from the sun up to sundown. It's always the end of August and the dog days of summer. There's never any clouds in the sky on that day, and hundreds of parents get herded in like cattle. All these moms have their Dunkin' thermos. That ain't Dunkin'. Timmy's mom is always happy. Apparently, Timmy's mom runs on Dunkin'. And I know how they built these sports complexes. I figured it out. It had to be a team of people, headed up by some guy named Frank, right? And Frank was just getting ready to cut the ribbon to the sports complex and pull the scissors back. He said, wait a minute, we forgot something. And Frank's team was like, what is it, Frank? Talk to us. What did we miss? And Frank said, there's still too many trees. I want no shade for these parents or grandparents. Take down those shade, take down those trees, take down those trees. I want them to have melanoma by noon. Screw them. I want parents fighting for the 2 foot of shade on the awning on the food court all afternoon, right? And we get herded in like cattle. My son Colton, last inning, last game, bases loaded, 2 outs, comes up to the plate. If Colton gets a hit, we go to extra innings. If Colton strikes out, I go home. I just want to go home. And he's a good athlete. He leaves nothing to suspense. First pitch, crack. Base hit down the left field line. 1 run scores. 2 run scores. Hundreds of parents everywhere in the bleachers like, yes, yes. I'm in the back row going, now, now. My son Colton rounds first, gets to second base. The greatest moment of his 10 years on this earth, hops on second base and goes. And I'm like, here it is again. And then I look over to the dugout and there's 12 little whippersnappers, right? So I snapped. And I had a flashback. And I was thinking to myself that was little Billy in 1984 when I was 10 years old. And I got to second base and started flossing. My father would have rose up from the stands and made his way right towards the field, right to everyone. Excuse me, excuse me. They would have caught it from the announcer's booth. They would have been like, hey, Bob, is that Billy's dad making his way towards the field? I think it is. Is he a coach? I don't think so. Well, he just called timeout. Little Billy does not see his father. Little Billy is still flossing. He is still flossing. Oh, he just saw his father, Bob. He just saw his father. The flossing has stopped. What's that move now? That's called the running man. That's the running man. Everything changes. The last thing I'll talk about tonight is metabolism changes. I used to have abs. Screw you. Now I have 2 abs and an oval. And no matter what I do, the oval never leaves. Never leaves. I've done everything. Paleo, keto, I tried it all. It just sits. It's almost like all my internals had a meeting. I'm 49 years old. I'll be 50 in 10 days. 50 in 10 days. Can't believe it? I'm going to be on the back 9. This is nuts. Never had an issue with weight. Right around 45, I started noticing, can't do what I used to do. Things have changed. It was almost like my internals had a big meeting, right? And they were like, Mr. Metabolism, you here? He's like, in the back. They said, you can go now. I mean, I don't even walk by the cookie aisle anymore, right? I can't, because I'll start to swell up. It's out of control. I don't even eat the cookies. I just look at them and I start to swell up everywhere. There's pockets of swelling. There's nothing I can do. And it's tough because I hear women talking. I mean, I don't understand it. I'm a dude. I hear like, a lot of chatter. And a good-looking dude walks by, right? Girls are like, look at his arms. Look at his shoulders. Look at his butt. Just once, I want to walk by some women and hear one of them go, look at that oval. And I'll stop. I'll be like, excuse me, miss, are you talking about my oval? And she'll be all shy and flushed. I'll be like, she'll be like, yeah, that's my thing. I like that. And I'll say, well, this is amazing. Because I made this for you. Can't do what you used to do. And it's tough. It is tough having young boys in the house. Blended family, but my boys. Austin is 17. Colton will be 15 in March. And listen, man, I'm a dude. I remember how I used to look. I mean, I don't even shower with the lights on anymore. Do you know how fast I get dressed when I get out of the shower? Like, I just come out and like, dab, 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 clothes. They're still stuck to me when I walk out. Nobody wants to see this. Nobody. And then my kids get out of their shower. They got their towels on. Like my Austin, 17, walking around the house, nothing but abs. Everywhere. Like, he's got like 30 of them. Like 30 abs. He has the abs in the front. He even has the side abs. He even has the arrow. Do you ever see people with that arrow down here, that little arrow? Like, I'm never going to have the arrow. I mean, I might have an arrow. It might be under the oval. I have no idea. You tell me. I can't see it. And he walks around the house with his towel on. Never puts a shirt on. He'll go out to the truck, grab his homework or something, comes back in, towel on. Goes downstairs to his room. 30 minutes later, comes up, figures he's going to be dressed, towel on. I'm like, put a shirt on. And he's like, huh, huh, huh. And every time he's going, huh, all of his abs into different formations. I'm like, what are you, sick? Are you missing a chromosome? What's with all the atoms? I said, you've got 30 of them. He's like, what, you didn't have this when you were my age? You didn't have all this? I said, little fun fact, in the 80s, there was only 6. I don't know where the 30 came from. Like every time he opens up the refrigerator, it's a biblical experience. He's just shirtless and the light from the fridge just shines on him. Oh, angels are singing. And he's like, what, you never had this? You never had this? He said, you go to the gym, don't you? I said, I do. He said, what's the name of your gym? And I said, Anytime Fitness. And he chuckled. I said, what's so funny? He's like, Dad, it's right in the name. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, Dad, it's called Anytime Fitness. You can go anytime. And I said, and then he did this to me. He said, apparently, like I'm some Bacchus beauty on The Price is Right. He just went up and down. He said, apparently, you choose no time. Exactly. So like a parent, I was like, oh man, I didn't have a comeback. I was dead to rights. I was dead to rights. Especially as a professional comic, I didn't know what to say. I got nervous. So I did what I thought any good parent would do in that moment. I punched him right in the throat. That's what I did. Yeah. And it was so cute the way he fell. He was trying to breathe. He was like, and I just stood right over him and I said, put a shirt on. Because things do change. Like I finally went to the doctors, right? I knew something was off. You all know your body. You young kids enjoy it. Okay. Good night. Good night, buddy. He's going to be out of your truck waiting for me. Like, can I talk to you for a minute, buddy? Baby, shark. Surprised I made it this long. This is unbelievable. Check this out. I went to the doctors. I knew something was off. You all know your body. Something was off. I didn't feel right. I went. I got a physical. And you got to get the blood work. Have to get the blood work. And physical turned out fine. But you got to wait for the results of the blood work. And I forgot about it. 3 weeks later, I'm playing with my kids in the house. Phone rings. I didn't recognize the number. I saw it. I said, hello? And there was a dude on the other line going, Billy. So I said, you? Who's this? He said, it's your doctor, Dr. Hebb. And I got excited. I'm like, hey, doc, what's going on? And then it hit me. 25 years with this man. He's never called my house. My tone changed pretty quick. And I was like, hey, doc. And the doctor said, you got a minute? I said, you tell me. You're the one with the information. He said, I got good news and I got bad news. But the bad news is fixable. Good news is physical turned out fine. Bad news is you are 100% a pre-diabetic. And he's like, it's got to be your daily habits. Are you eating a lot of bad food and drinking a lot of alcohol? And I was busy that day, so I just answered with, uh-huh. I said, hold on, you want to talk to my Uncle Tito? He's still here. You might be related. You know Uncle Tito. So he goes, we got to do something. He said, was there a reason? Was there a reason you made the doctor's appointment? I said, you know what, there was. Maybe I'll end on this. Maybe you can relate to this out there in the audience. I'm going to grab a chair ahead of me, right? I said, this is what made me make the appointment. I said, maybe you can relate. Did you ever notice that you're way up here and your shoes are way down there? Here was the sign that made me go get checked out. The sign was off. If you've ever had to hold your breath to tie your shoes, if you've ever made this sound like I still do, ready? You shouldn't have a vein split your forehead to tie your shoe. Did you ever run out of breath? You're like, clap, and you're trying to finish tying, you come up, you're like, okay, we'll give that one another shot. It's like, you got that timer going. You can only hold your breath so long. You know how many times I come up and I'm from tying my shoe and I'm like, crap, I've got another foot. We're going to do this again. Like maybe, just maybe, the diabetes won't be that bad. I lose lose a foot, I hold my breath one time. That's what I'm thinking. That's another great joke. Don't you get triggered on me. I'm the pre-diabetic. Don't tell me how I should feel. I'm telling you how I feel. But no, I gotta have 2 feet. So I said, you know what? I ain't ready for the gym. I don't have any time to go to the gym. So I'll bring my foot to me. I'll circumvent the system. Did you ever see people do that rock? And they build up some momentum. And they throw this. And now they're all happy. They're like, aha, my shoe's right here. And they tie their shoe. And they do that gravity stomp. And they rock. And they throw the other foot up. Or maybe your uncle is like Captain Cuff. And he's just... And they tie your shoe. And now your shoes are tied. I didn't have to go to the gym or nothing. Shoes tied. Don't be proud. I was proud. Don't be proud. Because now I can see you. I can see you. Because now you have a side knot. I'll let that sit for a second. If you don't know what a side knot is, look down. If the knot of your laces are touching the eye holes on the side of the tongue, meet me later, we'll grab a salad. Thank you very much, everybody. I'm Bill Simon. Thank you. Give it up for Amy Schwab. Next grade, Julie. Actually, you know what? Julie, before you come up, Julie, let me do we're going to do some raffles. There's 4 of them, quick, and then we'll bring up the teachers and Julie and Dawn. You know what's funny? I got to tell you this. Julie, when I was setting up here, before anybody got here, I was setting stuff up. And she goes, when Don shows up, I want to introduce you to Aedan's mom. And I was like, his mom is named Don. And I listened to her again. She was like, so I'll let you know when Don's here. And I was like, well, yeah, sure. He said, all right, so that's his mom. And I was like, why is his mom named Don? And then it hit me, the accent. She was saying Dawn. Dawn. So Dawn, are you still here, Dawn? I get Dawn. I told her, I said, you are the most beautiful man I've ever seen. Oh, we're gonna do the, yes. So we're gonna take a picture.
We're gonna do a video first.
You're gonna do a video?
Yeah, make some noise for Aedan.
All right, we're gonna make some noise for Aedan. This is unbelievable.
This is my new cell phone.
All right. So we'll do the 3 gift cards for, I think there's 4. And these are 2, and they're going to the high school students. Thank you. I saw a lot of volunteers. Let me tell you, I have fun with the younger generation in my act, but we had a show. I'm swelling up just holding the gift cards. All right. Blue Moon. Clap if you know Blue Moon. You know what? Ladies, we're going to have Amy draw. All right. What you got in?
Macy?
Schneider.
Did you not think there was another Macy in the whole building? Just when I gave you props, you pull something like this. All right, Macy. This is tough. Do you know the writing? Whose writing is that? Do you know?
Can I identify who it is? I could just take
They
it.
have a handwriting on
Are there 2 Macy's? Are there 2 Macy's? Want to do 2 gift cards? Or one out there? So I want you to, if you can just say thank you, everyone. I'm going to fill out the big check real quick.
Hey. So I already said thank you, but I'll say thank you again. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the laughs. The comedians were amazing. I'm glad I wore my Depends, so I didn't pee my pants.
But I'll
Really should be left to my own devices with the mic. I say things I shouldn't. Are you recording me, Casey? I did. How long does it take to write a few numbers? Billy? No, Aedan is fast asleep, so he will be enjoying this much later. Thanks for leaving me alone on the stage. Thanks, Melissa. Do you want to come sing? Oh, thank God.
Oh, a blank check.
All right. So, yeah, anybody that wants to get in the front and without blocking too many people, maybe. Philip, you can stand. No, do me a favor, just don't flop. That whole front row is going to end up in the sound booth. All right? So, listen, funny for funds, Amy had mentioned that a year ago I had the opportunity to work with Jim Gaffigan. And I remember driving home, and all of us worked so hard on our craft. And I remember the opportunity, and I drove home and I was thinking to myself, that was awesome. It was a great moment, but there was nothing left after the night. And then when I got home, 3 hours later, I said, you know what? I built this for a reason with my business partner, Mike Murray, out of Johnson, Rhode Island. And I'd rather serve people. And if you live a life of servitude, good things usually come your way. I'd rather make you laugh and also serve in another way. So I'm home at Funny for Funds. I used to really attack my personal career. I'd rather do this. I'd rather hang out with people like Dawn, families, friends, community. This is where comedy lives. This is where good people, I just love that salt of the earth kind of effect. So thank you very much for coming out. If you had a good time tonight, tell everybody. At the end of the show, as soon as we take pictures, I'm going to fly out the back at that raffle table there where you came in, and I got a bunch of business cards. I want to shake hands and thank you. Please feel free to take a card. But now is what we've all been waiting for. This is unbelievable. This is what we do. This is why everyone in this greater Millis community came out and showed massive passion, love, and energy for Aedan. We helped raise tonight. Everybody here and in the community came together for Aedan Weatherby and raised $45,220. Get out of your seats.